So hello and welcome to the Intro to Business Done Different. I'm Smriti Goswami and I'm a Joy Business Facilitator with Access Consciousness. Shilpa, I'm just gonna make you the co-host, and Sukriti, can I make you also the co-host? Basically, just have to make sure in case there is in case you might have to mute people when they're joining in. Although I have everything in place, but sometimes this also starts changing. I was supposed to do a Facebook Live, but doesn't seem to be fun for me. So I will maybe send it out as a recording later. I know
you always do this to
Shilpa's
me.
making a face, but I just actually am excited about what I have to talk because Rachna asked a question and boom, there was just, you just start getting this download of awareness and what else is possible. So what was your question again, Rachna?
My question was, can we not have a clearing to send the coronavirus back to China?
Okay, cool. So now, what if you actually started seeing or receiving the coronavirus as a gift that it is? Okay, the thing is, the moment you start judging something, and the moment I'm just muting you, okay? The moment you start judging something and the moment you start looking at it as a sort of a issue, something that you have to run away from or something you have to sort of just move away from because it is wrong, it is bad, it is nasty, so I don't want to have anything to do with it. Guess what you're doing? You're cutting off your awareness about that thing. And also you're cutting off all that you can be receiving from that. So everything this just brought up, will you not destroy and uncreate it all, please? Right, wrong, good, bad, pot, all and shots, boys and beyonds. When there are certain things about certain people that is triggering you, that is bugging you, things that are not fun for you, what you need to actually look at is everywhere you've been there and done that to them in some other lifetime, in this lifetime and in previous other lifetimes across all space, times, dimensions, and realities. Pock and pot all that, okay? And then ask, okay, the thing is, you cannot start changing people, but what you can do is start changing things that are triggering you about those people. The moment you start working on you, because each trigger point is actually showing you what is required for you to work on. Okay. And at times where it stems from is, say, for example, from your childhood. Something someone might have done somewhere, something you might have been denied something. And now because it had a sort of an impact on you in your childhood, now you will keep on creating it as a pattern throughout in different relationships, whether it's in friendships, whether it's in other relationships or whatever else. So the thing is, those patterns start showing up. So when every time somebody says is triggering something in you, ask, okay, how old am I being here? Okay. And you'll suddenly get an awareness, okay, I'm being 8 years old or 6 years old or 2 years old. So don't look for it to fit in with this reality. Don't look, oh, 6 years mein to kuch nahi hua tha. Why? I mean, I don't even remember anything from when I was 6 years old. Why is that age coming to my awareness? Nothing, it doesn't lie. Your awareness will actually tell you when that is. So you don't have to go into trying to figure out what happened. Okay, everything that happened when I was 6 years old that I was holding on to, everything that is creating these triggers, pock and pot all that. Okay, that's what really starts opening up stuff. Okay, start receiving from all this. All right, cool. So thanks for that question, because it just suddenly, boom, there's so much of awareness. Now, when I was talking about trigger points and things, how much do you start creating your financial reality like this? Where are you not willing to be aware of your financial reality about whatever the thing is? So basically, if you have the awareness of what your current financial situation is and what you would actually desire your life to be, if there is a sort of a discrepancy in that, ask, okay, what energy, space, and consciousness can I and my body be to create the financial reality I truly desire, no matter what it looks like? Okay, the thing is, we might want a whole lot of things. Are we willing to sort of just receive it? Also, we cut off stuff because we're not willing to receive. Also, um, the thing is, we've defined what a financial reality would be like, okay, based on different aspects. Say, for example, if, you know, how much have we been entrained or implanted in our childhood, where it's like, if you don't study, you'll remain mediocre. You won't get, if you don't get admission in big schools and universities, then you will be no big deal, right? I mean, already that discrepancy starts showing up. And how much do we actually start buying into those points of view and start limiting all that we can be choosing and creating? What if we had the option to choose our life every day, to create our life every day, every moment? What would you choose? Okay, start focusing on that. Start focusing on all the things that you'd like to have in your life, instead of focusing on all the stuff that you don't have. And get out of the definitions of self. Because, for example, if we have defined our financial reality to be a particular way, if we have defined our financial reality to be a certain way, then we're not, anything that doesn't match that financial reality that we have in mind, we will not be able to receive. Okay, we won't even if it's showing up for us, we'll find ways to get rid of it. Okay, so everything this just brought up, everywhere you've defined yourself with your financial reality, sorry, everywhere you've defined a financial reality for yourself, will you now destroy and uncreate it all, please? Right, from good, bad, pot, pock, online shots, boys and beyonds. Okay, so what else was I gonna speak about? Sometimes I get distracted. Yeah, so I just remembered what I was going to talk about. So there are times when, say, for example, if you're looking, I don't know, I think it was either in the Getting Out of Debt Joyfully book, or it was in the Joy of Business book, somewhere where I was reading, where Simone had to buy, or she or her friend had to buy a house, okay? So they were driving around in the car looking for a place to buy, okay, a house to buy. So just going to different localities. So she went past a locality where it was not very well to do and stuff. So, and she was like, my God, how can people live here? What's going on here? Just give me a minute. Yeah. So what was I saying? So when she went there to that place, which was not really very well to do, she was just resisting it. She wasn't really liking it. And she was like, how can people live here? You know, and let's just get out of here. She was just uncomfortable. And then she went to a place which was regular middle class, and she felt so much at home. Hey, these houses look nice, and this is quite nice. And yeah, maybe we can look at buying house here, right? She just felt an ease and comfort over there. Okay. And then later on, they went on to another place which was meant for very ultra rich people. Okay. And those houses were huge mansions, and they were really, really huge. And she actually whispered to her friend and said, hey, are we supposed to be here? Is it okay if we, are over here? And is it okay for us to see these houses? Because the thing is, how much of that sense of not belonging there shows up, and how much do you resist it, and how much do you actually want to run away from that? Okay, start being present with each of these aspects. See, maybe take a book or a diary or something and start writing all those places where you're actually resisting receiving money. Start focusing on that. What exactly is going on? What's the value of resisting this kind of a financial, or what's the value of creating yourself? Start being really, really present to it. So what you do when you go to a place where, say the locality that I mentioned, like when Simone went there and she was feeling out of place and she was waiting to run away from there. And she was actually even whispering. When you go to a place like that, lower your barriers and start pulling energy from the opulence, start pulling energy from the richness that is there, everything. Start pulling energy and start receiving it. The first thing that happens when we go to a place like that is our barriers go up and we're not even able to receive from people. Even when you go to certain parties and stuff, and you're attending parties and get-togethers, and you come across people who are very beautifully dressed up, and suddenly what happens is, and you start feeling out of place around those people. What is it that's making you feel out of place? What are you being uncomfortable about? The thing is, you start comparing yourself to them, and that judgment starts showing up. So what if you did not have to judge yourself for anything? What if you could receive yourself? What would that start creating? Start being really, really, really present to that and see what shows up. Yes, Rachna, go ahead.
Just an example for this, it just occurred to me as you were talking. My daughter has a friend who lives in this very high-end place in Gurgaon.
Yeah.
Called Magnolias. Matlab, rich doesn't define it. Okay. And really swish family, but very well-behaved girl. But I've always had a mental block because every time you try to get into that colony, they make you wait for 15 minutes and they check all your credentials repeatedly. Kahan se aaye ho, phone number kya hai, ye hai, wo hai. So I'm like, Sabrina, what are these people? I don't like going here and I don't like rich friends and this and that. These were all my blocks, okay?
Yeah.
On the coldest winter day last year, I had gone to fetch Sabrina from there. I got talking with the mom. Mm-hmm. And you know how we get stuck with things in our head, that the son of the house came and he touched my feet. And I was like, wow.
Wow.
I was like, really? He didn't know me from Adam. He just saw a grown-up person and he touched my feet. Mm-hmm. Then I got talking with the mom. And guess what we connected on? Access.
Really? Who's this person?
Really? That was just, I was like, wow, she's talking what I understand. And
so
there was
who's this person?
Her name is Aman Hora. She lives in this place called the Aralias.
Okay.
And not everybody will understand access bars when you say them, or not everybody will say, ask the universe and not look at you like you're batshit crazy, honestly. Okay. So this is something I experienced myself, and I hadn't gone with an access mindset, lower your barriers and all that. But when I came back, I told my daughter, I said, baby, I was wrong. I had just so many judgments about them just because where they are, and I needed to get rid of them. So yeah, I guess somewhere access did play a role.
Right. The thing is, thanks for actually bringing it up. What I'm also trying to say is, you can have barriers against those people, but the thing is, how much of those barriers or your judgments about people being too rich and the way places that they're staying is stopping you from creating that kind of a financial reality for yourself. Okay, that's what I was trying to make each one of you present to. Where are you stopping receiving a whole lot of money and riches because of your judgments about what rich means, and rich people are crazy and they are mean and they're nasty? What
my basic thing was
they're too hoity-toity
on my child, and they will but actually that child is one of the most respectful friends she has. So I guess somewhere the whole mindset, and in fact my daughter has a phone, that girl still doesn't, if one had to compare. So
cool. So next time you go there, what if you actually just lower your barriers right at the gate? Lower your barriers, and that 15 minutes will just turn into 5 minutes.
Yeah.
It's your resistance that creates that much of time and issues and those. So what if you were more committed to asking for ease with everything, instead of waiting for things and stuff? Yeah. It's just how committed you are to choosing something that starts showing up. That's what it is. There are these two amazing classes starting, I think at 5:30 onwards it'll starting. One is the Talk to the Entities Advanced, and one is the Being You class. And for the next, I think, one whole week, till about 6th. 3rd to 6th is the Being You class, which is going to continue in the evening. And the Talk to the Entity Advanced will continue till 12th. Okay, these classes are really massive. Now, because the thing is, since you're in Access, there's a lot that you actually start receiving already from these classes. So if things around you are going crazy, if there is not enough ease, joy, and glory with stuff, what if you acknowledge that these classes have already started for you? Whether you've signed up for it or not, you already start receiving. That's the best part about Access classes. You start receiving. All you have to do is lower your barriers and just ask to receive whatever those classes are creating in the world. It'll really be more easy in your body.
Yeah.
So maybe that's something you guys can choose today. Okay, I still have to pay for the Being You class. There's been some confusion and stuff. And so in between, after I attend the Talk to the Entity Advanced, there's a 1 hour gap. That's when I'll be making the payment. So what else is possible? Last minute humanoid. Sometimes when I create a class, I just sort of advertise for it just an hour before the class. And I'm like, what am I doing? And there are still sometimes people who show up last minute. So the thing is, what if you didn't have any point of view? The thing is, the moment we decide, oh, this is the only way it has to show up. If you're creating a class or you're putting out a business or a product, you have to advertise for 3 weeks or 3 months, and then and only then it'll start showing up. That's not really true. It's the energy that you're being, which is an invitation. Okay, it's that excitement, the joy that you're being every time you're putting out your product or any of your creations, anything. That's what attracts people to you. Okay, so that's what you have to focus on. Just the joy of you, just being you. Focus on that. Okay, I'm not advertising for the Being You class here. We are here to talk about business done different. And what would you guys like to ask about that class? All I know is it's a very, very, very contributive class. We just don't talk about business in that. We talk about where are you limiting yourself, the core of you. We actually address that and bring that out. There is so much, you might say, oh, this is what's happening, and mostly I'll be just asking you questions, and all the stuff you'll be coming to your own awareness about things, and you'll realize how you've been limiting yourself. Okay, it's not, and again, what you'll receive is only what you're willing to receive. Where the thing is, a lot of people say, oh, you are not here, how can you be choosing to facilitate this and stuff, why aren't you walking your talk? It is not about that. It's about what am I capable of seeing within you and bringing it out and clearing it for you. It's more about that. Okay, I know there's lots of judgments that goes around. So what if you focus on what can you receive from the class instead of looking at what others are creating? Okay, and a lot of stuff shows up differently. Say, for example, you have a major block against receiving money or major block with your financial reality that you've created around you. When you attend the class, a lot will start shifting, where your creations will start increasing. A lot of avenues will start opening up. The money will only show up when you're willing to receive that money with ease. Okay, otherwise it's up to you. You'll keep on making it difficult and more difficult and more difficult. So I'm not saying, oh, this class will be the be all and end all. What I'm saying is, why instead of focusing on what you'll receive, what if you focused on following an energy and what that would create for you? I know I can look at Shilpa and she's like, what are you talking? I'm just talking to an energy and addressing that. And with every class that you attend, you receive what you're willing to receive. But definitely this class has created so much for me. There's so much that has opened up. There are levels of creation that I never even imagined that I would be creating. And I am being that. There's the energy that I'm being right now. That has changed. Okay. Yes, go ahead. Shilpa, what were you saying?
So I had two questions to ask you. One is, I mean, if I'm not into business at all, I'm working or I have like a totally like, I'm an actor by profession. So what contribution can this class really be to me? Because I'm not into business.
All right. So I'm glad you asked that, because it's about recognizing that the creation of your life is your business. It is not whether you have any business or you're a housewife or you have a job or you're working somewhere. The creation of your life is your business. Okay. So if you're looking at actually creating your life in a greater, grander way with more possibilities, this is the class for you. Okay. It starts opening up different aspects. You'll start seeing changes in your relationships, you'll start seeing changes in your whole house, you'll start seeing changes in your friendships with people around you, with your business, with in your job. And the thing is, because you're doing a job doesn't mean you can't open up different revenue streams or create more revenue streams for yourself. Shilpa, you have changed things around for yourself, so would you like to talk about that?
Yeah. So I did this class just now in March, and like not many know me. I had a corporate career. I quit my job. I took up acting as a career, and everything ended for me there. So I was in my own world of also some frustration and stuff like that. And there was this one call of Smriti I attended, and that's what kind of interested me to kind of go and do the business on different class with her. So since March 2020 to now, from someone who had no business sense, who doesn't come from a business family, I have like set up some 6 businesses as we speak, and it's really kind of opened up in a great way, and it's doing great, and I'm still adding more businesses to my portfolio. So that's one thing. I am far more better when I go out for my shoots and stuff like that, because I don't give away pieces. I don't give out pieces of me away when I'm at the shoot. So one, being engaged with a lot of things. I finally met myself in the class. So yeah, it was a extremely heavy class. And, at some point I wanted to run away from the class. At some point I wanted to kill Smriti. At some, at
So
some point,
the reason it was heavy
yeah.
was also because what were you not willing to risk, where you were not
Yeah,
willing to create
yeah,
that change.
yeah,
So
yeah.
yeah.
So that's what I was trying to say. So at some point, the class was very heavy. At some point, I wanted to kill Smriti. At some point, I didn't want to listen to anything that she said. Day one, I survived. I came home with a heavy head. The whole class was playing out in my head in the night that day, but the next day was totally different. And after that, I think we also had a lot of fun in the class. We were laughing nonstop. So yeah, what did business done different do to me? It changed me totally as a person. I am unwilling to look at. There is no possibility in business anymore now. Even if I mean, I'm constantly in question. And Smriti is amazing at ensuring that she keeps pushing you. So
Yeah.
yeah,
So just because you've done a class with me doesn't mean I've washed my hands off. You know that it's not about just, it's a relationship that I build with you guys where I will totally have your back no matter what. Even if you don't have your back, I'll be there for you.
do
That's
that.
because I genuinely, seriously would want each one of you to actually really choose more. So that is one thing where I'll keep pushing you no matter what. So definitely that you can be rest assured with.
Yeah, sometimes she pushes you even when you are not wanting to, step out of your comfort zone. So yeah, that's something I'll always, give it to.
So the thing is, with respect to financial reality that we are choosing, with whatever showing up for us, the thing is, what are our points of view about this financial reality? What is it that's stopping us and not letting us create more? So good clearing to ask would be, what energy, space, and consciousness can you and your body be to have too much money and never enough? Okay, everything that doesn't allow you to know, be, perceive, and receive that and create that with total ease. Will you now destroy and uncreate it all, please? Right, wrong, good, bad, pot, pop, online shots, boys, and beyonds. Let me repeat that again. What energy, space, and consciousness can you and your body be to have too much money and never enough? And everything that doesn't allow you to know, be, perceive, and receive that with total ease. Will you now destroy and uncreate it all, please? Right, wrong, good, bad, pot, pop, online shots, boys, and beyonds. So the thing is, the first thing you have to do to change your financial reality is to start letting go your points of view that you have about that, and also be willing to come out of the judgments that you have. Okay, everywhere you're resisting, everywhere you've decided creating too much money is not good, it's bad, or that means you have to go create, you can only have a lot of money if you indulge in black money, or one way or the other, or and how much do you actually stop your receiving or creating a lot of money for yourself because you feel someone else might ask for it, or you feel you might have to give a lot of taxes. So the thing is, let's take for example, if you're limiting or you're trying to keep saving taxes, and what is the sign you're giving to the universe? Okay, I'm willing to cut myself so that I don't create more, so that I don't have to pay taxes. Okay, what if I invite you to be the highest paid taxpayer in the country? What would that create for you? You see the amount of money you'll be creating to be able to actually pay that much, to be the highest taxpayer in the country. Look at the amount of money you'll be creating. Would you not rather have that, or would you rather just have a limited amount so that you don't have to pay? Be willing to pay. So what? That doesn't mean be foolish about it, in the sense, wherever it's required, go ahead and take up all those tax saving schemes and whatever it is, like get your paperwork sorted, and yet still be willing to be the highest taxpayer. What kind of financial reality would that be creating for you? That's what I'm inviting you to, and inviting you to look at and see, okay, where all am I limiting the creation of money right now? And so another question that you can ask is, okay, what is my financial reality? Okay, what have you been refusing to acknowledge that if you didn't refuse to acknowledge it, would create a totally different financial reality for you? Everything that doesn't allow you to know, be, perceive, and receive that, will you now destroy and uncreate it all, please? Right from good, bad, what, call and shots, boys and beyonds. So what are your points of view about your financial reality? What have you decided it is? What have you judged it is? And what have you misidentified and misapplied your financial reality to be? Okay, what are the choices you're making in certain areas of your life? Okay, so stop and choose to be a little present with, okay, where are those areas in your life where you have a lot of ease? Okay, it might be just going shopping. Maybe that's a lot of ease. And when you go shopping, you just are able to receive whatever, you're able to buy some really amazing stuff because you just go out and you find those stuff and you create it, and your body creates it for you. And anything you're wearing is looking really nice and you buy that. Okay, there is this level of ease because how much fun is shopping. So that's the place where you're allowing yourself to have that ease. Or you might have ease with whatever aspect of your life. Okay, planning holidays, or just being, or cooking, or whatever it is that's true for you. Start being really present to all those places where whatever you're choosing, with a lot of ease. Now, are you willing to bring that ease in the creation of money for you? What would have to change for that? How much of that would change your financial reality? And where have you decided that creating a financial reality is something really different from what you've decided it is? Okay, just be willing to have that ease. And what if it was all about choosing to be committed to creating that, choosing to be committed to creating a future that you're, or creating something right now that your future self would really, really thank you for? So every 10 seconds, every choice that you're making, every 10 seconds, whatever choice you're making is giving you an awareness of what kind of a future you're creating with that choice, or what kind of a future that choice will create for you. Okay, so how big are you making your life, or how small are you choosing it? And what are the changes that you can actually start implementing right now onwards? Okay, so what have you defined as your financial reality? Everything that is, Time's a godzillion. Will you destroy and uncreate it all, please? Right, wrong, good, bad, pot, pop, online shots, boys and beyonds. Everywhere there's a limit to what you've decided that you can have, and that you've decided you can receive, and whatever you've decided is acceptable. Will you now destroy and uncreate that, please? Right, wrong, good, bad, pot, pop, online shots, boys and beyonds. Where are you defining a particular financial reality with your business? What is the ceiling you're setting for your business? What are the limitations you're creating your business from? Everything that is. Will you now destroy and uncreate it all, please? Right, wrong, good, bad, pot, pop, online shots, boys and beyonds. The thing is, a lot of us start defining our financial reality as our business, or maybe our job, or whatever it is that we're creating. That is not our financial reality. Our financial reality is something what we are choosing to show up as, what we are willing to receive. Okay. And it's no one else who's going to create it for you. You have to create it. How many of us actually start sort of falling in line with what our family is choosing? Okay, what are their points of view about create a particular financial reality? What is their financial reality? And how much do we start limiting ourselves based on what they are choosing? Okay, and does that even work? So everything this just brought up, will you now destroy and uncreate it all, please? Right, wrong, good, bad, what work, online shots, boys and beyonds. I just realized I wasn't giving anyone else a chance to even ask a question. I'm just going on because there's just so much of stuff that was showing up. Okay, does anyone have any question?
But you know, that works quite well, huh? Spriti, just...
I just, perceive an energy, and I just start addressing because there's just so much of download of information. And sometimes, you know, there are words which I fall short of words. So how does it get any better? And what contribution can that be to you guys? All right. Does anyone have any question about?
Smriti, I wanted to ask you, which classes are you starting with, being you?
So Ranjali, this class, this is the intro for the Business Done Different class. It is a phenomenal class. Not because I'm creating it. Whoever you choose to do it with, it is a very, very contributive class. This class has an amazing manual, which is like loaded with clearings. So there'll be one topic, and there'll be a little bit of explanation about it. And then, of course, I will explain it in great detail and stuff. And then there are maybe a page and a half of just clearings on that aspect.
Okay.
So when you do those clearings, there's so much that starts shifting.
Okay.
It's a beautiful class. It definitely is very contributive.
Is it start?
It's starting on 5th, day after.
Okay.
It starts day after, and it's a fixed price of 1 lakh for this class. And I would ask you, if money was not the issue, what would you choose? Okay. And if someone has any stuff going on with money, maybe you can connect with me, and we can find something that would work. So Shilpa, I think we'll have to change the dates to 5th to 10th, because that's turned into an 8-day class. I didn't realize when I created the creative. So we'll just have to make that changes. It'll be 6 to 7 days, definitely. And if I'm creating a class, then I end up just overstretching it, and that's okay.
That's a whole
day
class?
No, it'll be about 3 to 4 hours every day. Do you have the timings, Shilpa? I mean, I'm creating so many classes. I don't remember it's about 3 to 4 hours. I think it'll be about 4 hours every day.
Okay.
Okay. And the best thing about the online classes is it gives you enough time and space to sort of assimilate whatever we've spoken about and really receive that much information. And then the next day you're ready for new information. So that's one thing. And I've also realized that people are more present when they're doing it online. They're totally focused, they're totally present. And yeah, that's what it is.
Smriti, another advice I wanted, like I haven't done the foundation.
Right.
So I was planning to do the foundation now.
Okay.
So what do you advise? Should I do the foundation first, or should I go in for this? Because business wise, like I'm not doing anything right now.
So,
Like
so
I just came out of cancer, and I mean, basically, business wise, I can't start anything right now at this age and whatever. Though they're all fixed points of views, but I feel there are certain limitations
there
everywhere.
is no age to start anything. Okay, there is just no,
But
there's no
ideally, what
age.
to start and what to do.
The thing is, that is something you'll have to choose. Foundation is also a very contributive class, and so is business and different. They are both very different, but yet they're similar in the way where they are all about creation of your life. Okay, you just follow an energy and choose whatever's calling out for you to you. What
All
if
right.
there's no right and wrong? Just follow an energy, because both are very contributive classes. Okay, just ask, okay, if I choose this, what would my life be 5 years from now? And if I choose option B, which is the other class, what would my life be 5 years from now? And just follow the lightness, follow whatever's more light for you. Okay. So
Can I also just share something about this? So you can also renew your license if you're a BAS facilitator license, right, with this class?
yeah. So earlier it used to be business done different masterclass 2.0 and 1.0. Okay. So the 2.0 version was for renewing your licenses. Now all the business done different classes are available to renew the license. So okay, so let me talk about something else about this class. The fact that it is priced at, it is priced so high is because they were willing to see that this class as a valuable product that it is. Okay, they increased it by 40%. That's like without even thinking, okay, will people even choose it if we increase the pricing so much? And frankly, people have still been choosing, and it has really been contributing to them. Okay, now the thing is, acknowledge that business done different is a valuable product, and also it contributes so much that they've also allowed it to be one of the renewal classes for BAS facilitators. Because what would choosing this class create for the BAS facilitators in their business, in the creation of their business?
Smriti, only a practitioner. I'm not a facilitator.
Yeah, that doesn't matter, Ranjali. You just follow the energy. When you have to choose something, follow the energy. Okay, what will create? What if I choose option A? What would my life be 5 years from now? And if I choose option B, what would my life be 5 years from now? So what happens is when you ask this question, there is a heavy or a lightness that you perceive. So the heaviness would be maybe like a contraction in your tummy or a weight on your shoulder or some sort of an unease. And a lightness would be just a lot of space. There's a lot of possibilities, just a feeling of well-being. Okay, that. Choose whatever is light for you, whichever class you're choosing, whatever else you're choosing in your life, focus on that. And what if you did not make your age significant? This is your life. How much can you pack into it? How much fun can you have living every moment? Okay, so focus on that. Whatever would contribute. All right, does anyone else have any question? There's something on chat. Okay.
Riti, what are the prerequisites for this class?
No prerequisites.
So anyone can join.
Anyone can join. Even if you're not part of Access, you can join, because this is about actually literally creation of your life.
Okay.
So in all aspects. So if you feel certain, like you're putting in a lot of efforts in your business and it's not really doing well, or if you feel somewhere you go ahead, work really hard and you put it all out, and yet still you're not really getting the acknowledgement of what you're creating, or you're not receiving enough based on, so basically if you put in 100% and you receive only 10 or 20%, what are you creating? So what are the blockages? What is it about you? What are your points of view? What are your judgments about you? That is what we'll be actually focusing on. So this class is not what you would learn in say a Harvard Business School or something. They will not be teaching you all this there. They will be teaching you more about different aspects of the shoulds and should nots and the hows and whys of how you have to create a business. And here, this class is going to invite you from what are you aware of? What is your knowing? And from following that and creating not based on other people's judgments. See, for example, at this moment, because of the coronavirus, everybody is suddenly it's in that hibernation mode where they're like, okay, let's conserve all possible energy, all possible finances. Let's just conserve. But the thing is, what are you giving energy to right now? Where are you allowing this reality to control you? What are you aware of? And where have you decided that you cannot still create, even because the thing is, you don't have to buy what other people's points of view are. What is your reality? Okay. And the thing is, every moment, every 10 seconds, you have a choice to create your own reality. Okay. So what energy, space, and consciousness can you and your body be to employ this reality to fit in with your reality? The reality that you know is possible, and you're willing to go out and create that. You don't have to fit in with this reality. You know, you can create your own reality and allow and invite this reality to fit in with yours. I hope I'm not confused you guys. Cool. Yes, Ranjali, you had some more question. Does anyone else have any other question? All right, cool. Okay, what else can we talk about?
Can I ask you some questions?
Yes, go ahead.
So, Smriti, there's generally, there's this general space around of lack of money that's pretty much prevalent around. Like everybody is consciously or picking up the point of view of lack of money. So how is it that I can really stay on top of it, and how can this class really help and contribute me to kind of see that differently?
So the thing is, that's a nice question, Shilpa. What happens is, whatever we are focusing on is what we're inviting into our lives. Okay, so if you're focusing on the lack and not enough, and we won't be able to create more, guess what you're focusing on? First of all, the fact that we will not be able to create more money is a lie, because that means you're not willing to trust yourself. Okay, that means you have to hold on to whatever you have and conserve it and preserve it. Okay, what do you do when you get into that conserving and preserving mode? You stop living your life. Okay, and what happens when you stop living your life? The universe gives you more reasons for you to conserve and hold on to the limited supply that you have, and then you're just limiting the supply more and more. However, if you choose to focus on actually the creating your life, and focus on more on choosing more and greater for yourself and also on trusting yourself that no matter what, I know I'll still be able to create. Okay, even if this is the circumstances, cool. If I have certain products, what if I start advertising about that, or I start putting it out in the world? Or what contribution can these products be to, or my services be to these people? Because a lot of people are online at this moment. So how can I use the online platform to start showcasing my stuff? The thing is, whatever you're focusing on, that I had a flow of thought which I missed, and I'm just wondering what was I going to talk about? There's something about the creation. Yeah, so there was this person I know whose family would sort of every month they would put aside 50,000 to sort of, it was a fund, because she said one or the other person in my family is always hospitalized. Every month they get hospitalized. So the beginning of the month, we put aside 50,000 because you never know which one of us might get hospitalized. So there was like saving for the rainy day, except that rainy day savings used to get used up every month. Okay. And the thing is, what were they making so significant? The hospitalization every month. And the months where they did not fall sick, their maid servant would fall sick and she would have to be hospitalized. So do you see, what are you giving energy to? Whatever you're focusing, that's what the universe thinks, oh, this is what they like. The vibration that you're being, the universe thinks, oh, this is what they like. Let me give more reasons for this person to have more of this, because this is obviously what this person likes. So for example, if someone likes lack or is focusing on lack and worrying, okay, guess what the universe is gifting that person? More of lack, more of worry, more of issues, because the universe cannot, distinguish between the right and wrong, the good and bad. The universe can't. It's just picking up on the energy, and it's just creating based on the energy or the vibration you're being. So what this class will invite you to is actually creating more from possibilities. So no matter what's going on in your world, even if there is lack of money, what if you didn't focus on that and focused on more possibilities and creation? Even if the whole world is crumbling, you would still hold on. Say, suppose you were drowning, you would still hold on to that little twig, which might sort of, and try and use that to pull yourself out. It's about that. What are you focusing on? Are you focusing on the drowning, or are you focusing on more possibilities and creating and trusting yourself that no matter what, I will still create and make more? The moment you start changing your point of view, there is so much that you'll start receiving, even during this time. My work hasn't stopped. Ever since that day, I'm like really busy, but it's just that there's a lot of housework involved. But the thing is, the first few days I was resisting it and stuff. And then finally, when I got down to doing the work also, and I sat down and I remember, literally my house was like, thank you. And I was like, hey, how much did I actually disconnect from the house because I was so out traveling, so busy traveling and creating a life that I wanted, that I didn't even acknowledge the contribution that the house was being. So my being here right now with the housework, as well as creating these classes, and every moment is so much fun. It's just the space that you are willing to receive from. That's all. It's just that. Okay, everything that's just brought up for each one of us. Let's not destroy and uncreate it all, please. Right, wrong, good, bad, pot, pork, online shots, boys and beyonds. What magic, miracles, mysteries, possibilities can you and your body receive and create? Everything that doesn't allow that with total ease, will you not destroy and uncreate it all, please? Right, wrong, good, bad, pot, pork, online shots, boys and beyond. And everywhere you're buying into other people's points of view, and everywhere you're buying into your family's points of view and your friend circle's points of view about the lack of money, will you now, and inviting a similar thing in your space, will you now destroy and uncreate it all, please? Right, wrong, good, bad, pot, pork, online shots, boys and beyonds. Are you willing to acknowledge your own awareness and your knowing and follow that? What magic can you choose and create with that? Everything that doesn't allow you to perceive, know, be, and receive that with total ease, will you now destroy and uncreate it all, please? Right, wrong, good, bad, pot, pork, online shots, boys and beyonds. And the thing is, you remember yesterday or in one of the calls, I mentioned about those scientists who had created that experiment where they put in flying fleas in the glass jar, okay, and they covered it with the lid. And the fleas learned to jump only as high as the lid. Even after the lid was removed, they would only jump that high. So that was a ceiling that they'd set for themselves. They were not willing to go beyond that. Okay, so what personal glass ceilings have you set for yourself that if you did not have it would create an entirely different financial reality for each one of you? Everything that is. Will you not destroy and uncreate it all, please? Right, wrong, good, bad, pot, pork, online shots, boys and beyonds. So ask yourself, okay, how many glass ceilings, how many different levels and layers of glass ceilings have I set for myself? Who's setting those glass ceilings on you? For you? You only, right? Where have you decided that this is the only limit to what I can create and receive? Okay, so for example, let me give you an example of a glass ceiling. Many people, or most of the people would only be willing to create the amount of money that would be enough to just pay the bills. Okay. So Is that one of your glass ceilings that you've set for yourself? Where are you not willing to ask for way more? Because if you're willing to ask for money only to pay your bills, then that is the only amount you're creating. So what energy, space, and consciousness can you and your bodies be to create too much money and never enough? And everything that doesn't allow you to perceive, nor be, and receive that with total ease, will you now destroy and uncreate it all, please? Right, from good, bad, pot, poc, online shots, boys, and beyonds. Also, be willing to surround yourself with the people that you that are not willing to perceive the energy of anybody who contributes to the money that you can be creating. Okay, and everywhere they're not willing to contribute to you creating a greater, grander financial reality, will you now destroy and uncreate it all, please? Right, from good, bad, pot, poc, online shots, boys, and beyonds. So start looking at who you're surrounding yourself with. And that does not mean like you decide, oh, okay, you're no longer my friend, or you're not my mother anymore, or you're not, like, just move away. It's not that. The thing is, where are you more committed to choosing their limitations instead of committing to what you know is possible with the creation of your financial reality? Be willing to surround yourself with people who actually have your back and are willing to really, really contribute. What magic would that create? Everything that doesn't allow that with total ease, will you now destroy and uncreate it all, please? Right, wrong, good, bad, pot, poc, online shots, boys, and beyonds. So I need to be stopped once I get started. There is just so much I have to talk about. So, okay, who else has a question? And okay, let me ask you a question. So what, are you willing to be a millionaire? What do you have to be and do? Everything that doesn't allow you to choose to create a whole lot of money, will you now destroy and uncreate that, please? Right, wrong, good, bad, pot, poc, online shots, boys, and beyonds. Yes.
I was going to say, I have to attend access classes regularly to be one. Sorry,
So,
I'm in a slightly wacky mode right now.
no, that's okay. Also, everywhere you've decided that you cannot create millions of rupees or dollars because you haven't attended any access class, can you now destroy and uncreate it all, please? Right, wrong, good, bad, pot, poc, online shots, boys, and beyonds. What these classes actually invite you to is being more of yourself. Okay, that's what this is inviting you to. That's why. So I remember when I started attending classes, there was just a time when I would just go on, like, I think, and I wouldn't look at, and I must have repeated so many classes. It's not like, oh, I've attended an ESB class and that's it. Like the Being You class that I'll be attending tonight is something that I've attended. I must have attended at least 7 or 8 of them. Okay. And I'm a Being You facilitator, yet I'm still choosing to attend this. What is it all about? It's because every class opens up so much of space. It's like giving me access to myself. Okay, that's what these classes invite you to. Everywhere you're not willing to receive from these classes, will you now destroy and uncreate it all, please? Right, wrong, good, bad, pot, poc, online shots, boys, and beyonds. So what else is going on for you guys? Where are you in the computation of your life and creating money? Where did we decide that you're so worthless? What if you actually start acknowledging how priceless you are?
Priti, can you just talk a little about money not being linear? And I mean, I just love that in the way you kind of put it, especially with businesses. How do we look at money from one point of view versus how you can look at it?
So yeah, what happens, Shilpa, is most people start focusing on how the money has to show up for them. Okay, so when we define a path for the money to show up, then anything that doesn't match that path, we will not be willing to receive from that. Okay, because it doesn't match our tunnel vision. So we will not allow the broader perspective from which the money can come in. However, money is not linear. Creation of money is not linear. And also, you yourself are not linear. We are humanoids. We are not linear. We don't function like that at all. Okay. So everywhere we are blocking the creation and receiving of money because somewhere we've decided this is the only way it has to show up. Will you now destroy and uncreate that, please? Right, wrong, good, bad, pot, online shots, boys and beyonds. So it's not about, let me, what example would you want me to give you? What have I been talking about? The thing is, when you, yeah, go ahead.
No, you have really, spoken in all these classes about how, about you going in for some, for your travel and how money has showed up and how,
Oh,
even
yeah.
with businesses. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that. Okay, cool. Yeah, that's happened lots of times. It's not just happened once or twice or thrice. It's happened a lot of times.
Yeah.
And it stopped happening when I decided that, hey, I'm just muting you. There's a background. That changed when the day I decided, okay, I'm done with living like this, where I'm living on the edge. It wasn't fun for me. Okay, I received the thrill and the excitement that it creates, but not anymore. And universe, what will it take for me to just have ease? And you know what? There were people who started paying me way in advance, before, like maybe a month in advance before the class also started. Okay, there was suddenly that level of ease with money which started showing up. Because initially what used to happen was, it's about you not buying into how you will create something. It's about you choosing it. I don't care how it shows up. I'm choosing this now. It's about you willing to be that energy of creation. Okay. There were times, like, for example, I was attending the Talk to the Entity facilitator. I was in Paris, and there was certain amount of money that, like, and I wanted to attend the BYCF training, and I didn't have enough money for that. And I really wanted to attend that class. And I just asked another facilitator. I was like, hey, can you help me out here? Can you ask me some questions? I really want to attend this class. And the only question she asked me was, Smriti, if money was not the issue, what would you choose? Okay. That time there was not enough money in my account. I mean, I could have asked my husband to pay for it and all, but he's like, you're on your own. If you want to keep on repeating these access classes, I can't keep funding you. You are on your own. So I had to sort of depend on myself only. There's no one else. Okay. So she just asked me, Sriti, if money was not the issue, what would you choose? I said, if money was not the issue, I'm really choosing the BYCF class. Universe, I don't care how it shows up. I'm choosing it. And now, I was willing to extend my ticket, and I was willing to go to the class and talk to them. Hey guys, can I pay you later? But I was so willing to just choose that. Okay. And in the morning when we were walking towards the class, I received 2 messages from on my phone. There was money that had been transferred into my account, and enough and way beyond for me to actually go ahead and pay for the class with so much of ease, and also book a nice hotel and stay there for the duration of the days that I was extending the stay. Okay, that is how it starts showing up. And it just happened overnight. Where did that money come from? Because before I left for Paris, my dad had made me sign some paperwork because I was closing some account, and the money, the FD, I didn't even know there were FDs in that account, which just got transferred to my account, and I ended up paying for that class. So the thing is, when I was choosing it, I didn't have anything. I had no clue where the money will show up from. Absolutely no clue. Okay. But it showed up just in time. That's how things start shifting and changing. Also, how committed are you to actually choosing it? It's not about, if money shows up, I'll choose it. Okay, God, get the money, please give me the money. It's not about sitting and wishing. It is about being the energy. I don't care, universe, make it happen. What do I have to be and do? It's that energy which is what starts creating. Okay, there are times, I think I discussed it earlier also, when I had to go to Australia for I was going to Australia to conduct classes there. And the day I was landing, I had a seminar to attend where I had to address quite a few parents of in a school of, of little kids where they have ADHD and they are special needs kids. I had to go and address those parents, and there was a proper seminar. And I really had needed to be in Australia on that day. And there was some issue with the seat. Some seat was unserviceable, and they just bumped me off the flight. And I spoke to the captain, and he's like, I'm sorry, there's nothing we can do. And a whole lot of things. And, I was like, they had taken my ticket and kept a boarding card for me, but they were not willing to give it to me because they were not sure. They took that ticket because I think the aircraft was changing, so which had a different seat or something. So they thought they can adjust me, but then suddenly they realized that it will be the same previous aircraft, so they can't adjust me. They actually, that's when I was at the airport asking them again and again. The only thing I was doing was, how does it get any better than this? What else is possible? How does it get any better than this? What else is possible? I kept asking those questions. And I also spoke to the captain, and they said no. And then I was like, that's it, universe. I don't care how I go. I am choosing this. I am going on this flight, come what may. Make it happen. Whatever it takes. I'm choosing this right now. And the moment I was that energy, that's when that guy at the counter, he actually literally tore my boarding card and he handed it to me, and he took out the suitcase from wherever it was and he gave it to me. And I was like, I'm still choosing this. I don't care how it happened. And I just sort of turned to walk a few steps, and that's when he called me. The station manager called me and he said, ma'am, just hold on, the captain has asked you to wait. And I was like, okay, how does it get any better than this? What would it take for me to be on this flight? And that's when the captains, both of them, walked past and they just came near the counter and they just did this. And he took in my suitcase and gave me a fresh boarding card. And he was like, okay, you're good to go. And I think what they'd done was they'd adjusted another commander, a captain, who was traveling ACM, where he was in his uniform, but he was on a passenger seat. So they asked him to maybe go to the crew bunk rest or somewhere or wherever. So that's how I got to go. The thing is, what magic can you choose to create when giving up is not an option? Where do you start buying into this reality? This is about creating your own reality. When I was talking about creation of reality, this is what it is. Everything that doesn't allow each one of you to perceive, know, be, and receive the contribution that the universe is, and the contribution that choosing and committing to creation of your life can be for each one of you. Will you not destroy and uncreate it all, please? Right, wrong, good, bad, pot, poke, ball, and shots, boys and beyonds. And this is what I'm inviting you to. This is the space that I'm in of creation that I'm inviting you to with the Business Done Different class. And yeah, please do choose. Whoever you choose it with, do choose. This is a very contributive class. I've been talking non-stop. What else is possible? Does anyone else have any other questions? I have a class starting very soon. Anyone? Does anyone else have any questions? Looks like no one has any more questions. Okay, so thank you so much, everyone. And I'll send you guys a recording of this.
Thank you, Smriti. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Samir, for attending. And hey, hold on, is Simran here? Let me just wish her a very happy birthday, a belated happy birthday. It was yesterday.
Thanks for being there.
Happy birthday, Simran.
Yeah, happy birthday, Simran. Let's just sing.
Oh my God.
Let's just unmute and sing, okay?
Yes.
All right. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Simran. Happy birthday to you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, all of you. Thanks for this.
I did log in to wish you, but I couldn't. I kept getting bumped off. So
I know. I saw you coming, going, coming, going.
So
thank you so much, Smriti. Thank you so much.
Thank you, guys. Thank you for inviting me.
Thank you, Smriti.
Guys, just a minute.
Thank you, Smriti.
We're there.
Lot of
Yeah.
thank you.
Nobody allows me to talk.
Wait, hold on. Let me mute everyone and you unmute and call. Okay, hold on. Yeah. What were you saying, Shilpa?
Yeah, I was only trying to. Okay. The only thing I wanted to say here is, yeah, of course, thank you, Shruti. But at the same time, we've created a WhatsApp group for the class. If people have any more questions who you couldn't think of right now, and if you would like to ask later, I'll post it on the Joy of Business group. Right? I think most of you guys are on the Joy of Business group. So I'll post the WhatsApp link there. Your guys can join in, and you're free to ask questions. And please take this opportunity to do that class with Smriti, because yeah, it'll change your life dramatically. Yeah, that's all I have
All
to say.
right.
How much
Thank you
I've
so
ripped.
much. Thank you so much, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you for being here. Bye. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye.